So, um, like I said, I split the recording up, so this is gonna jump into episode 4 abruptly. Episode 4, and then we got into some predictions and reactions to different things on the back end. So I think the first 35 or 33 or so minutes is talking about episode 4, and then we started talking about some other stuff. So enjoy. I hope you enjoyed the first part. Here is the rest of my conversation with Shad about Bel Air. I think the beginning of episode 4, we see a dude with a tattoo on his neck watching Phil going to school or something like, or Phil, watching Will going to school. And we're like, oh snap, he already got a goon out there.
Because he told him he had eyes everywhere.
Right. Or Trey did. Or no, he
No. Actually, Rashad told him.
I think Trey told him that he like knows he's out there. I think after that.
Yeah, he straight up told him like, yeah, he knows you're out there, and he's got somebody looking for you.
Yeah. So is that what do you want to hit on first? Like we got to get to that. I think we got to get to that last. There's some other stuff that happens. We can hit on.
Oh, Ashley.
So Will plays the piano.
Ashley's rarely there. Will plays the piano.
We already talked about the Hillary interviews, and now we can talk. Let's talk about Ashley stepping out.
Yeah. All Hillary says when Will plays the piano is she had all those lessons and she couldn't play a lick.
Right.
But he barely had lessons and just could play. But it kind of is, again, reminiscent of episode 1, season 1. The pilot of Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Right.
Where, was it Green Sleeves? Did he play Green Sleeves?
I don't remember.
Well, that's what he played. So
I ain't a pianist.
He needs. So basically, it's reminiscent of
Thelonious Monk. That's it. That's all I got.
So yeah, he just played the piano, and we go to that. Then Phil and Vivian say, "Well, you guys have to go on the campaign trail with us. You have to register voters and things of that nature. There's 2 incentives for both Carlton and Will. If Carlton gets, it was 30. First it was probably 30, then it turned into 50, and then Phil looked at him and said, "You should have negotiated for 40."
Right.
Is if
I get 30 signatures, and then the dad says 50, and he says fine. He said he should have counted with 40.
So basically, he gets to go to this race, this very
the Grand Prix in Monaco.
Yes, he gets to go to the Grand Prix with his dad.
Is he going with his dad or is he going with Dolo?
No, he was trying
to have father son. Okay, I didn't. That adds another element to it.
It wasn't father son. It wasn't father son. It was dad's paying. And I'm going to be bragging to everybody that I'm at an exclusive F1 race and you at home watching on TV.
Right.
It was basically for clout. Okay.
But he's supposed to be he's supposed to be really into racing though.
Yeah, so you have that. Well, I mean, him and Mario Andretti is like the same height. Anyway,
disrespectful, but continue.
It's facts. It's just facts. Because I looked at that dynamic and I was like, dang, like they got it to where like Will is really, really much taller than Carlton.
He's
like he got about a good foot in that. Yes,
his head has not been down the entire series.
He has been looking at him like, I can't believe this is why I don't like you.
He has to be getting paid extra for the neck damage that he's enduring.
Because he's looking at Will crazy. But anyway, Will's incentive is that Trey gets to spend. Because his main focus ever since he showed up to Bel Air is to get Trey out of harm's way, especially after he was shot. So he goes to Aunt Vivian and says, yes, if you help Carlton get these 50 signatures, I'll make sure that Trey and you have the best time of your lives here in Los Angeles.
So I think, was it Hillary that put Will on to, Carlton's getting something out of this?
Yeah, you better get something too. Yes. And while they were at the piano. Yes.
Oh, there you go. I was trying to figure out when it happened. So then that's when he mentions like, I want Trey to come to Philly. And it's funny that like Aunt Viv didn't hesitate. because that's just how they operate with their kids.
Yeah,
like
because it was one of the things. Remember, for everybody wondered like, why does he keep going back to the original? Because there are elements of the original, like there's even references to the Fresh Prince of Bel Air throughout the first 4 episodes. But anyway, that was the main thing that Vivian in the show always did as well. Vivian never wanted Will to feel like he was just a guest or just a relative. She always wanted Will to feel like he was one of the kids. So right at that moment, she was like, well, if we would fly out or bring our children's friends to our home, we're gonna do the same for you. So that's pretty much was that. That's pretty much was that incentive, and I'm glad that Hillary, outside of the minimal screen time we've seen Ashley, they've been the main ones making sure that basically the women of the house.
I was gonna say Hillary's keeping him in the streets, taking care of his the way he navigates that world, and Aunt Viv is his connection to home, like somebody that can relate to him on that level. So I
Ashley is just there.
Well, she was a little bit more, and a little bit more than there in this episode. We got to see a little bit of Ashley's personality come out, because everybody gets their assignments, and Ashley and Hillary go out to get. I don't know what they were. Were they registering voters too?
No,
they were trying to get signs.
They were putting the signs in the stores.
Right. So Ashley dips out on her assignment when they go to Jazz's store
because
she wants to meet her gamer friends from online. Gamer Ashley, how you feel?
No, not gamer Ashley. I'm on Hillary because Hillary didn't care because again, something that did not happen in the original.
She was a little distracted.
This is why I said I want to talk about Jazz later. She was like, Jazz looks like Tupac.
He
kind of did. That was the thing, but that was the wildest part. That she was hitting on Jazz. I'm like, in the original, she wanted nothing to do with Jazz. Yeah. And the one episode she did now was only because he was getting married.
So is that a problem for you? Is that a problem?
No, it was just like
this a whole
new... really? Yeah, I was like, this is really a whole new series right here because
series. Same characters, different situations.
Because she was feeling some Jazz.
They were
So Jazz again showing him around the record store. He puts her on game, but she does something for him that he didn't even think of for his own business
somehow,
because she realized something. Okay, you own the record store, but you're also driving Uber,
right? And
you have all these other things. He says, "Yeah, I have all these other hustles." But she's like, "You own a business.
You hustling backwards."
Exactly. So she says, "Okay, I'll follow you on Instagram and I'll shout you out. What's your Instagram?" He said, "I don't have one." She starts one right then and there, does a viral video, and his followers and everything, and the influence goes up immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps him in the long run, to the point, that also helped her get into an influencer house. And that happens.
I was gonna say that she's been struggling to find her way. What she did for Jazz is a huge deal, and that could be something she makes money doing. You know what I mean? So that's
that was the first thing she said. Right. She's like, "This one's free."
Exactly. Like she realized it, and because she's smart, she's not ditzy. She realized, this is something that like she was looking at. She couldn't afford places, none of that good stuff, and this is some way I can live a little bit by doing this. So she let him know, I'm doing this for free, but next time I'm charging.
But back to Ashley and going all the way to, I guess they were in South Los Angeles.
Yeah, they were down. Yeah, they were in South LA.
Because she went, she's texting on my way. and you kind of like, okay, so where is this young lady going? How's this young lady gonna just say, hey, I'm gonna go to the next door, and Hillary not realize that she was gone? Like for more than just 5 to 10 minutes. Like it was just wild. I will put you on to what I just said and you can edit this out. I basically was talking about how Ashley just said she was on the way and just said she was going to dip to the next door. And Hillary did not realize that she was gone for as long as she was. She did not realize. She had been gone for a minute. And then she finally was like, okay, let me go see my sister. So, of course, Hillary didn't go look for her. She texts Geoffrey.
Right. The whole time her and Jazz are doing whatever the hell they were doing, Ashley's gone and Hillary could not care less.
They playing games, watching videos.
Right. They do it. They didn't establish him a whole, they established him a whole Instagram account while Ashley's wherever, but she's with some weird looking kids watching movies and stuff. Was it Jurassic? One of them Jurassic type movies.
Yeah. It was like they're playing a dinosaur game. And then they watched, I think, a movie based on it.
It was, Okay. So she's chilling. She's supposed to be like 12.
Yes, 12. Young Bull has his arm around her. And that's when Geoffrey shows up. Again, on the last episode of Power. He says, come on, Miss Ashley. And he gets in the car. And she's like, how did you find me? And she was like, your sister hit me up. And I kind of looked at this like, really? Right. I said, you're head of security. Again, and this one, Geoffrey is not a butler.
No.
Matter of fact, like he plays pool. Another reference to the original. Phil and Geoffrey playing pool. But they play pool, listen to hip hop, and he makes sure that Phil knows everything that's going on in that house. Basically to know that, okay, this may be a security risk. This may be something you need to consider, so on and so forth.
He's basically the head of Secret Service is what he is.
Yes.
He definitely got a background of some sort.
We don't go, like I said, we're saving literally what I think he did at the end.
Oh, we got to hit that. So yeah, he pops up on Ashley. And I did like part of their conversation where he's like,
you shouldn't have
to her that
it's better to just tell us where you are.
Right. Like be straightforward so we ain't got to pretend we ain't got to come hunt you down. Because you are the daughter of someone wealthy. There are people that will snatch you up off the street and like demand a ransom.
Exactly.
You can't just be running around out here.
Because them people could have held you captive. You don't know.
Right.
Yeah, you met them
don't know
online.
Who these people are.
That's she straight up said. Like I met these people online.
Right.
So
they're not gonna let me hang out with my gamer friends from South LA.
And that's exactly what she said. He's looking at her like, what if her parents know who your dad is?
Right.
And wants it like, oh, you can't go home.
They might need some cash.
Exactly.
Now you tied up in a basement somewhere.
And you talking about some, I just want to hang out with my gamer friends.
Right.
So, and had lip gloss on, and he already had the napkin. Like, you may want to dap that off your lip before we get back in here.
As soon as he saw it, like he was all right, let me get this. Go ahead and take care of that, Miss Ashley. How'd you feel about that?
We're going through all the characters, but I'm gonna like circle back to Phil because we did not talk about Yamacraw.
Oh snap! I didn't even write anything down about Yamacraw. I don't think
Yamacraw.
Was that in the fourth episode?
Yamacraw is 3.
It was 3.
Yamacraw is literally named Yamacraw.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we're gonna get on that in a minute, but yeah, back to Ashley. It was just finally Ashley did something outside of say hello, Will.
Yeah,
that's pretty much that's the only way you can sum that up.
Yeah, up to that point, I was like, what is going on with Ashley?
Where is Ashley?
does she exist?
Because Ashley was in episode 1. She
was in every episode.
Yeah, because every episode was more minimal. Like it was hello, Will. And then there was one episode she was just getting her hair braided and you didn't see her again. And then you had this episode 4 where she actually did something.
Yeah, episode 4, she suddenly has a personality. So
yeah, so
we learn about her that she's a gamer and that she's stupid. I mean, I'm sorry, not stupid.
No.
Not streetwise. She's not streetwise.
Yeah, because she was wild enough to just wander the streets of South Los Angeles
Right.
Dolo,
Like her
like it was all
parents
gravy.
don't have buku bucks, and it's dangerous out here.
Yeah, but back to Phil and Yamacraw. There was, like I said, I love referencing the original and this show because everybody's like, Bel Air is not the Fresh Prince. I'm like, that's cool, but they are paying homage to the show in the middle of this.
There are great elements to the show that they had to bring over.
So Yamacraw, I want to say North Carolina, or Yamacraw's in North Carolina. Okay, so Yamacraw, North Carolina is where Philip Banks is actually from. He's not from Baltimore. He's from Yamacraw, North Carolina. So when he was in college, that's what people knew him as, Yamacraw. We also found out he's an alpha. After the whole Insecure controversy, I wonder if he's really an alpha, the actor.
And I feel like the Aunt Viv was being a Delta. She was in Luke Cage, right?
Yes.
And she was a Delta in Luke. I think she really is a Delta.
She has to be because like I said, after the whole Insecure controversy.
I mean, as long as you you have to get the clearance from the fraternity and sorority. So at the very minimum, they got that, but I don't know if he really is. I haven't seen anybody complaining about it online like they
because he stepped. Because he actually stepped in it.
He hit it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying about this, because we're gonna go back to 4 with the skate party. That's the reason I said we had to go back to 3 real quick. So basically in 3 and 4, Uncle Phil's finally realizing something. The only black people I'm around are black people like me.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Lisa and her dad. But her dad is also a man of status. He's not necessarily as rich as his other people, but he's a man of status.
Right.
So once he realized that, he's like, oh, you're out of touch with the community. So he plans to go to this crawfish boil. And then he has Will and Carlton
with him
volunteer. So he could talk to. No, they had Will and them actually carrying chairs and stuff.
They had Will. They had Will doing it.
Will carried. Yeah, Carlton was up there kissing. Again, they brought another element of the original.
He played himself
because he did not realize the whole time he played chess with that man and all that stuff that he was no longer on the board. So in the middle of this, again, Will is up there actually talking to people, shaking hands. Basically being a volunteer,
doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
And
so in the middle of all of this, Phil isn't getting the endorsement from the pastor that he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of getting frozen out by everybody.
Even the people that are nice to him aren't. They're freezing him out. They're tolerating him.
Because after he got he basically the same thing. Again, you can bring elements from the original to here. Basically the thing he said when they went back to clean up their old community, that he felt like he sold out. But in his mind, how Phil took it as, man, I really sold out and never looked back. In his mind, Phil's mind, he's like, I'm supposed to, it's what Jay-Z said. You think I worked this hard to stay the same?
Mm.
That's how he felt. And that's how he felt. But they were like, no, dude, we're your brothers.
Right.
You're in a fraternity. Mm-hmm. And you don't even come to the fraternity functions.
Like what was this? Roommate got sick or something, or he had a relapse?
Yeah.
And he didn't even know about it.
He didn't even
brothers
know.
Came together to help him, but
he said, but we did.
Right.
He said, but we did, and we helped him. But you was out in Bel Air doing whatever it is you do. We was helping your boy. Mm. And he was looking for you. We handled up. So after that, Will finally was like, okay, the only way you're gonna open this up is because everybody just kept talking about how good of a stepper he was. He said, the only way we're gonna do this is if my uncle starts stepping. So he gets on that mic. At first, they was about to get him.
I was scared.
They was about to yank him off that stage. They said, if you don't get off that stage, we're gonna take you down. It was like, So Will Smith, the Fresh Prince came out, Mr. Charming.
Mm-hmm.
He hypes up the crowd. He gets the steppers behind him, and Uncle Phil finally gets up and does a step with the steppers. And he gets that endorsement from the preacher from the preacher to endorse him.
All of a
That
sudden,
was
they see the real him come back out. Because up to that point, like you said, like he hadn't been around, and they knew why he was there. Like they knew why he was there.
He was there for their support, and the fact that, again, he only hung around with super duper rich people that look like him.
Right. All of a sudden, you back around because you need our endorsements and stuff. Like they weren't feeling it, but then he allowed himself to loosen up a little bit, and now we can have that conversation. I think is what the pastor said. I got to go back to the Carlton piece. So Carlton was there because he wanted to talk to the funeral home king, because he was head of, what was it, Black
Future something, Black Star or something,
some type of Black Society type thing, and he wanted to talk to him. Meanwhile, the guy that had them putting up chairs and tables
was actually the guy.
Carlton ignored the whole duty, didn't put no chairs or tables up. And then so later he's playing chess with the guy. The guy tells him, "Oh yeah, I don't run that no more. Such and such does." The guy
you pretty much was ignoring.
The guy that you ignored, the guy that asked you to put chairs up, that's the guy you actually need to talk to. And Carlton realized he screwed himself at that point. It wasn't even worth pursuing. So again, do what you're supposed to do. You could have been in a good position. Will, meanwhile, he's making connections. You are not. Like, you're playing yourself, but he's gonna be mad. This is all building up towards him being mad at Will, because he's mad when Will's the one that gets his dad back on good standing too.
I'm shaking my head because I'm like, Kane Tejada and Carlton Banks are so blinded by the hate that they be screwing themselves over.
Yeah. All he had to do was the bare minimum. Put some chairs up. You would have made a good impression.
Exactly.
By accident.
And then he storms, because when they got home, he storms up the stairs like, "Oh, this is all Will's fault." No, it's your fault, because Will did what he was told to do, and he did it. He even looked at you and said, "Let's just do this so we can go home."
Right.
And you didn't want to.
What did Carlton did something when they were about to go put the chairs up, and Will like made a face at him like, "What are you tripping?" Like, I can't remember.
Basically the same. It was kind of, I was about to say, it was kind of still the same thing.
I can't kind of making him feel like he made a joke. He made a joke.
Yeah.
He made a joke that Will was like, "Why would you say that?" That was like disrespectful to the dude that was asking him to put up. Oh, the guy was like, "Chairs or tables?" And Carl, that's what.
He's talking about. Yeah, he made a reference to wrestling.
I can't remember what it was, but
he made a reference to pro wrestling. That I do remember.
So,
and I'm looking at Peacock like, did y'all tell these fools to write a WWE thing in here?
No comment.
Y'all say to remember that we have WWE on Peacock. We show all the pay-per-views.
So they did come back home, and everybody was happy except Carlton.
Yeah. So again, that's the reason I want to go back to 4 with the skate party, because Vivian looked at him and said, "The reason you're not reaching out to the Black people, to your Black voters, is because you're too busy worrying about what the police unions are gonna say." Of course, the head of the chief of police comes to find out is Lisa's father, which makes Will mad, because he was like, "Why didn't you tell me that?" And she kind of gave him the answer that people always give you: "You never asked."
I had a problem with Will being upset by that.
I always hate that answer when people are like, "Why didn't you tell me so?" "Oh, you never asked."
Right.
Huh?
Like, and I get
all the conversations we had,
but,
you never thought to tell me something like that.
But he's not a criminal, so why is it a problem?
Yeah.
He did.
I like that. I like that you add in lines from the show and then giving those as your answer. That's the literal thing that Chief Wilkes told him when he left out of the bathroom.
Exactly.
He said, "You're not in trouble, kid."
Yeah. So
and then he walked out the thing.
But that's my thing, is like, I mean, I understand we're supposed to be a certain way around the police or whatever, but he ain't doing nothing. So why is he mad at her? Is my thing. Like I get him being uncomfortable around the dad, but like, why are you like upset with her? Like she set you up or something? Like I'm out here with it on me. You ain't tell me your dad was like
he was really thugging. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like I could have slipped up and like tried to sell him something. Like what's going on?
Boy, you put up Luka Doncic numbers in a high school game. Like you ain't doing nothing crazy, bro.
Right. You ain't got to be this upset about it. That part annoyed me a little bit. That's one of the few things that like I was like, all right, why do we do it? And then he was like, didn't he give her like the cold shoulder a little bit for after that?
Pretty much did not talk to her the rest of the night. But he kept looking at her, and her and a friend was there. Again, she still hadn't said a word, but her friend was there.
I haven't seen her do sign language yet, but I think the friend can speak.
Yeah, so
we just haven't heard it.
But yes, so like I said, fast forward to the end of the night. The community is asking Phil questions, and they ask him like, "What are you gonna do about how the police treats us in these communities?"
Right.
And he said, "You know what? As district attorney, I don't work for the police. I work for you." And that was at the disdain of Mr. Wilkes.
I thought he was going to march off, but he stood there.
He stood there, and he nodded his head like, "I see what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see what you're doing. You're trying to win this election." That's probably how he thought about it. Phil was like, "No."
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely that's gonna be something later. So you don't think he bought that? That he thinks Phil's just talking. You think?
I think he nodded his head like, "Yeah, I see what you're doing. You're trying to appease these people." Okay. All right, take it. But Phil's looking at him like, "Nah, I mean it."
Right.
And so was Vivian. Vivian was looking at him like Vivian was like, "Finally, you listen to me, and these people are on your side."
Let's do a prediction here. Is he going to win the election?
Of course.
When he does, is he going to stick to his promises?
That is yet to be seen.
I don't think he is, and I think it's going to be an argument between him and Vivian.
And that's where we get to see the Vivian that we all know.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because she's all for the mission, the cause, or whatever. But we know I feel like he's going to fall back into his old ways once he gets.
Because the ugly thing was that supposedly like they had what is it called? Polls? What kind of polls?
Straw polls, I think is what they call them.
Yeah. Where basically people were like, yeah, that, and people were like, well, Vivian's cool, but like they would compare her to Michelle Obama, but Michelle Obama didn't always say the first thing that came out of her mouth. And they said
way too militant with it.
Yeah, they said you kind of need to chill out. And I was laughing because I said she's been docile pretty much this whole freaking show so far.
We haven't seen it.
So I'm like, these voters have seen a better version of it than we have thus far in the series.
Yeah, they could have at least shown us a clip or two of that happening so we could understand like where this is coming from. Because that, like you said, that we hadn't seen it. We didn't get a glimpse of this Aunt Viv that they're telling us the voters are seeing.
That's really just snapping.
Right.
Because I remember the first time Viv was like, I think Uncle Phil wanted a chili pocket sandwich, and she looked at Carlton and said, "I'll put chili in his pocket," and then she walked away. She did not make that sandwich. Right. Now this Viv would look at Hillary and say, "Can you make your father a chili pocket sandwich?" She was straight up giving the pockets. Yeah, give him the bowl of chili. Just hook him up. He has an election to worry about. But yeah, like pretty much like that's okay. Now we get to get into the good part. The end of episode 4. Trey calls Will. And I'm gonna say this part first, and then I'm gonna run it back for everyone who may have not paid attention to this. Trey calls Will and says, "You don't have to worry anymore. Rashad's dead." And Will's like, "What? Wait, what?"
Let me rewind
this. So Geoffrey and Will have a conversation. And he says, I'm really worried about my friend and I'm worried about me because I think that guy knows that I'm here. He says, don't you worry about it. We then again see.
He says his name to Will.
Yes.
Will didn't even have to say his name. Like, he already knew everything.
Yeah, he said, that's my job. Then we go to 2 meeting cars.
We see Neck Tattoo again, because remember, he was outside of the school previously, and we thought it was one of the goons that Rashad had sent. But we realize now that this is one of Geoffrey's people.
Yes. And he says something about they wanted money.
They had already given him money.
Yeah, they'd already given him money.
$10,000. And he realized how much they had and asked for more.
And he said, we had no intention of paying. And drove off. It drove away.
Like a understanding was had when he said, well, the guy was like, how much did he ask for? And he was like, it doesn't matter.
Because
we didn't ask. Paying. We have no intention of paying. And an understanding was had at that moment.
And they just drove off.
It was over. Went their separate ways, and that was that. I know you knew what was going down.
Yeah, I was like,
and I was like, hold up. Did that just is what we doing?
I ain't talking about. I put my hand on my head like, he got that much juice, he can order his.
And I literally let me see how I wrote it out. Let me see it. So at the beginning of the episode, I think was the car meeting at the beginning.
No, car that was in the middle. The car meeting was in the middle of the episode.
Yeah, okay. I have 3 separate notes about Geoffrey. The first one, I can't remember. Oh, I think it was what he said to Ashley when he had the conversation with Ashley, or how he found her and all that good stuff. I was like, okay, Geoffrey. No, it was when he had the conversation with Will. That was at the beginning. I was like, okay, Geoffrey's tapped into something. Like he has ears on the streets somewhere. In the middle of the episode, when the car meeting, I was like, okay, he is very, very tapped in. Like he has ears in every street. he's very connected.
From California to UK, you ain't messing with Geoffrey.
Like, and so then at the end, I put LOL in my note because I didn't expect that quick of a turnaround on this transaction. Now, I understand the threat was imminent, but damn, the same day?
He got him out the paint.
The same day?
Less than 24 hours. He gave him a time frame. You see him, you get rid of him. Like, basically, in the words of the Italians, he made sure that they took out the trash immediately.
They wasted absolutely no. Like, I thought this was going to be something that built over like a couple episodes. I thought we were going to see Rashad arrive in LA and then some dude roll up on him. Nah, it was the dude wanted some more money. That's the end of that. And then by the end of the episode, that was literally the end of that.
Yeah.
So, and now the episode ends with Will learning this information and like, what just happened?
Basically, did I just put a hit on him and didn't know that's what I did? Yes, Will, you did. That's exactly what you did.
Be careful talking to Geoffrey because people might go missing.
Man, I can't stand that fool. Really?
What's his name again? Oh yeah, he goes for a run every morning at 6. Okay, cool.
So basically, either he's gonna take this bag and he's gonna change his name and move to Brazil, or he's gonna end up in the meat locker, like in Goodfellas.
I have to ask you, where is your mind at right now with that being where we left off? Like, what are your thoughts about where this show is going with Geoffrey?
That's basically was the last thing I was gonna end this with. It makes you think.
We did go 2 hours.
It was a lot to uncover in 4 episodes.
You're right. I was tripping with the hour.
You were talking about an hour, and I was like,
I was tripping with the hour.
We basically have to talk about just Will. Like nobody else in the story.
I forgot it was 4 episodes. I'll break it up when you put it out. But go ahead.
So it makes you. So where do you go from here? The threat's gone. So basically, you're going to have to not episode 5. I'll see if I'm right about this.
Okay.
But you're basically going to have to go to the element of the original show where Will adapts. He's still himself, but Will adapts to the new environment. He thrives in it. And then that brings forth better relationships between him and the Banks family. Because there's no other way. There's no other way to do it at this point. I don't even know. I think, is it 10 episodes?
Yeah, it's 10 per season. And they ordered 2 up front. So we're getting a second season, definitely.
So basically, that's the only way to go now, because unless someone's gonna avenge Rashad, which I highly doubt.
No, that ain't usually how that works, and that would be goofy.
Exactly. That would be goofy, so I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have to center this kind of. It's not gonna be a comedy, but you're gonna have to definitely center it. Like the family's gonna eventually have to learn of Carlton's drug use.
Yeah. So that's. Do you think? So for me, that element of it, it wasn't super important, but it felt important. Like I felt like it should hang over his head and be resolved down the line. So the fact that it's already
that's what
resolved,
I'm saying.
like you said, because Will didn't take him out himself, or else there would be an element of somebody trying to come after Will. Like this was a random event that had nothing to do with Will. So nobody's gonna come for Will probably. So that is just gone. Like that's done. So now the whole conflict is around Will, like you said, trying to fit in. Do you think that hurts the show?
They're clear for 2 seasons. This is going to be an interesting
16.
Just another. Thank you. I was just about to say another interesting 16 episodes, because you're trying. I was again saving. This was in my notes as well.
Now we here now.
You made Lisa. You took Lisa and Will from being possible romantic partners to just friends. All because of the conflict between Carlton, Will, and Lisa. Even though Lisa has already looked, matter of fact, he showed her with powder in his nose. She was like, oh, I see you still doing that. So she absolutely wants nothing to do with Carlton. And I want to, when Lisa said to Will, there's a lot about Carlton you don't know. When will that be revealed to us?
So you brought up the conversation, or the moment where she sees him with the stuff on his nose. They have a conversation, and there's also a scene where Lisa and Aunt Viv have a conversation. Like they've been friends for a long time, like her and Carlton. And her mom passed away, I think 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they've been around. They've been like, she's been around a lot, to where Lisa and Aunt Viv have like a girls' night type of situation. The fundraiser that Aunt Viv had her sorors over for was a lupus foundation that was like in honor of Lisa's mother. So their families are like that. Like they know each other. They saw each other go through puberty and everything. Like the roots between Carlton and Lisa are deep. And so, like you said, it makes that whole Will Lisa situation very, very tricky. I don't know how they're going to navigate that. Is that enough drama to keep things going? Is the Carlton Will dynamic enough? I think the Carlton being jealous of Will is big, as far as like him and his trying to have a relationship with his dad. I think that's right now a huge element for the show.
Yeah, because you already, like I said, rewind to the basketball game. That was the look at it. The same way he looked at Will when he said, "That's my nephew."
Yeah,
used to be Carlton. That's my son.
Mm-hmm.
And that bothered him. That, oh man, he's claiming this kid. We barely know this kid. And they're looking at him like he's family. Because when he came out of his mouth, it was like, the reason I ain't really, in the words a little scrappy, put my paws on him is because he's family.
Right. And he said it in a way that almost, it felt real, right?
Yeah, it was just like, like, are you really not putting your hands on this man
all
because
of a sudden?
family?
Yeah,
it's like you really like, because again, everything he's done so far is in self-preservation. It has nothing to do with actually helping Will adjust.
Right. I don't know how that's going to develop. It has to be something big. You mentioned the drug use has to come out at some point. We'll see where that goes. I feel like Carlton could become very tragic the way it's going. Like I feel like something horrible was almost going to happen to Carlton based on the way
Man, you
they're
gotta be
going.
thinking like if they knock off Carlton,
I ain't gonna
that'll
say
be
they're gonna knock
wild.
him off, but like I could see a suicide attempt.
Yeah.
Or like him putting himself in a very dangerous situation, like speeding on a mountain, driving his car or something. Like I could see him doing something very stupid like that, and like it coming out why he's acting like that. Like Will came in, he's the star athlete now. The ladies are after him. He took my girl. He took my family. Like him and Hillary are buddy. Dad's all over him. You know, he helped Dad win the campaign. Like Carlton's gonna crash and burn. I feel like by the end of this first season, probably. I can see that.
He's not, yeah, because basically he won't let Will live. Will, like, he doesn't realize this. Basically, I'll put it like this. And that's why people always say, don't judge people because you don't know what they've been through. Carlton believes that the things that Will has been through is self-inflicted. And when you look at it from that point, that's why he doesn't understand, because he's thinking, all this could have been prevented if he just wasn't a thug out in Philadelphia. And I'm like, no, he was pretty much like you, except he didn't have the money. And well, he did have the influence. He was one of the most popular guys in Philadelphia.
Right.
He called himself the West Philly GOAT. And his mom did not disagree. So I'm guessing other people called him that as well. I know that wasn't just his name in the house. That's one heck of a nickname for a kid. So
I think that Carlton caring so much about everything Will does, he's creating his own hell. They could both thrive, but Carlton keeps trying to undercut Will at every turn. You don't watch This Is Us, do you?
I've watched a little bit of it. That's why I kept making those Sterling K. Brown
so there
jokes
is
at the beginning.
Yeah, there is a dynamic between Sterling K. Brown's character and the white guy. Because so what happens is, if you don't know about This Is Us, I'll break down. Like, this is for the audience. This Is Us. The family they're pregnant with triplets. One of the triplets passes during birth. They adopt a abandoned black baby. It's a white family. They adopt an abandoned black baby. They have a boy and a girl are their natural children, and the boys, the black boy, the white boy, growing up in the house, have a contentious relationship their entire childhoods into adulthood. Like they're always competing, and there's a lack of understanding between the two about why. So it even comes out, but it's never really resolved. The black brother, the adopted brother, is trying to earn the respect of the other brother, but the other brother sees it as him trying to steal his thunder at all turns. It's not what it is, but that's what he sees it as. And so everything he does is to try to knock the black brother, the adopted brother, down a peg. And that's what's happening with Carlton. I don't know about the Will side, but Carlton sees Will as coming and trying to take over his things. He sees him as a charity case. Like he wants to knock him down a peg. He wants to be respected. And Will's just being Will. Like he's just
existing. Yeah, he's trying to humble somebody that's already humbled.
Right. Like he's not coming for you. Like he's not thinking about you with every move that he's making. And you're making everything he does about you. Carlton is his own worst enemy. And I think they've done an amazing job with the character so far. Like nothing he's done has been over the top necessarily. Like this is realistic. Like his turf is being trampled on. Like everything was going smooth for me. I had it made, and then this guy shows up and he's stealing all my thunder. He's raining on my parade. Damn, I had a thought and I just lost it. Oh my god. Oh, mad. So, that's what I was gonna say. The guy who plays Carlton, I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he came on my timeline earlier. Like he showed up on my timeline on Twitter. His name is Ali Charlatan. and he was interacting with people online in character, pretty much. So I think he tweeted something about, are we going to act like it's cool for your cousin to show up and immediately be kissing your girl? Like was Will wasn't wrong in that moment? Are we gonna act like Will wasn't wrong? And like people were like, hey, you ain't had to push him in the pool, you could have killed him, blah blah blah. And he was like, what did he say? I knew he was gonna be all right, type of thing. Like he was going back and forth with people on the timeline. Like I like that. It's something that I wish was the norm. And this is the field I'm trying to get into, low key. But it would be dope if characters had social media accounts, and
you know what show they tried,
you could interact with
most
them.
Random,
but it has to be real.
show.
It has to be authentic. Which show?
The Game was trying to do that at one point.
Don't they have a lot of characters?
Yeah, they like Tasha had one, Malik had one.
Did it work? Or was it goofy?
It worked, and then when the show ended, they like basically closed the accounts.
Gotcha.
So,
but yeah, I thought it was cool. Like he was himself as his personal account, and I'm sure they didn't ask him to do that. But like people were talking to him like he was Carlton, and he was responding in character, like this is what Carlton would say in this situation. But like people were talking about different lines and stuff like that. And he was giving credit to the writers. He was like, oh man, they're knocking it out the park. Like they're giving us a lot of great stuff to work with. You could tell they're having fun with it. And I love that. I love that, because that's only going to make the show better. If everybody's feeling the vibes, they walk into the room, they walk onto the set, and they know that they're getting love. And I appreciate that people weren't taking it too far with trying to give them a hard time. Like they were.
Feel silly. I feel silly now. I'm looking up something. The
reason
reason it's so natural. No, the reason it's so natural.
I'm scared.
For Jabari Banks to talk the way he does with Philly slang and things like that. He's from Philadelphia.
Is he?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Because I remember I watched the interview when he got the part.
Yeah. I was like, I totally forgot about the interview, and I was like, "Okay, it's just too natural for that kid." And I was like,
it meant too much to him in that moment. Yeah, I should have remembered that. But yeah, like you said, it comes off natural. He sounds like Will. All of it feels authentic because it is authentic. So I'm loving the show so far.
Me too. I'm glad that I see people loving the show as well, because this isn't this isn't all American. Will isn't telling everybody he's from West Philly every episode. He's doing this for West Philly. I love those jokes. So he's not acting like that. He's pretty much just like, dude, I'm just trying to get by. I'm glad I'm not dead, because that was like literally the only other option for me staying in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
was me just running for my life, because that was literally the saddest part was Trey.
I was scared.
Every time he hit up Will, he just said, "Man, I'm scared. Just figure out how to get me out of here."
Right.
These are two kids saying this to each other.
And it's real. Again, it felt very real. And Will already, his friend wasn't dead yet, but Will already has survivor's guilt. Like to the point where he tried to leave a cushy situation.
You got to look at that. Look how easy it was for him to get out of that situation. He got bailed out. He's on 45 minutes later. He's on a plane. He's on a plane in Los Angeles,
all the way across the country. And he had to leave his homie, who he left in that situation. So of course he had survivor's guilt,
because what was he gonna? There was nothing. He felt helpless.
Right. And it's funny, like even when we get out, it feels wrong to be out. And in his situation, it made more sense than normal, but it is an interesting thing to like ponder in a larger sense, that you can't even, once you get out, you can't even feel good because the people you care about aren't out. So now you got to work to get the people you care about out as well. But I was afraid for Trey personally. So when they said he got shot, I was like, they better not kill Trey. Like, And I saw this character for like 10 minutes. So again, that's just a testament.
And you still
to the
fell
writing.
for me. Yeah,
right. That's just a testament to the writing. Like that I connected to that character that quick. His relationship with Will. So overall, I can't really say I have too many nitpicks. I need some more Ashley. She hasn't won me over, but I love Hillary. I'm loving that they're doing the thing with Aunt Viv where they're pointing out that she gave up her career to be a mom, and she's struggling with it. Like she's probably going to end up back out in the world like that. She's probably going to get back on her grind, and
she's pretty much hinted to it. Like
yeah, she's
in the middle
pushed.
of all of this. I'm like, because her sister, quote unquote, is pretty much like, you can have a life too in the middle of all of this.
Mm-hmm. Your kids are grown pretty much. Besides,
it was like you ain't got to be Mrs. Banks forever. You ain't got to. Well, not Mrs. Banks forever, but you don't just have to be just Mrs. Banks. You can be, you can be Vivian as well in the middle of this. So
I like that. Uncle Phil coming out of his whatever, trying to
finally coming out of the shell,
back down to earth again.
Yeah,
off a cloud, whatever he was on.
Yeah, he was feeling. Yeah, he, like I said, he got that. He did not have the clarity that the other Uncle Phil had, where he was just like, "Yeah, I sold out. A little bit. This doesn't feel good at all."
Do you think he should have a moment?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you already have the rich people vote. Not only that, but when you are in that position as a district attorney,
the same people aren't the ones. Yeah,
those aren't the people that you're looking after. You're looking after the people that you have straight up ignored. So
yeah, I do think they definitely could and should have driven that home harder. I agree. That's one thing. They I don't know if they can still do it because he's already started to turn over a lead. Maybe closer to the actual election, they'll have like a dramatic moment where he has to basically admit that he's not tapped in like he used to be. He's disconnected.
But I didn't like that the only person he's tapped in with is Geoffrey throughout the first couple of episodes. Like I said, they're playing hip hop and shooting pool and talking. He like the same thing he looks at. It kind of made him look like a hypocrite too.
Yeah,
because he was talking slang to Geoffrey and things of that nature, but you looked at Will like a troublemaker for literally doing the same thing that you do.
Yeah, that was interesting. But then doesn't he make a joke about Geoffrey's paycheck or whatever his salary kind of taking him away from that too? Like you ain't exactly on the street like that.
Either. He tried to say you make it you act like look again. This ain't the Geoffrey that you remember in the black and white suit. This Geoffrey making paper.
He's making paper. He's a playboy. Like he really out here like that. Like somebody said they didn't make Geoffrey the coolest character on the show. Like we got to get some Geoffrey background.
Hold on, Joseph. Shout out to Joseph Marcel. Hold on, Joseph Marcel at one point not at one point. He's definitely top 3 characters of the original Fresh Prince of Bel Air because Geoffrey always had a comeback.
He did have the clapbacks.
He had the ultimate clapback.
But did we care about his backstory?
No, because his backstory was stupid.
Do we care about new Geoffrey?
Wait. Yes. Because okay. Because I'm gonna tell you the difference between new Geoffrey and old Geoffrey.
Okay.
New Geoffrey came to America because he got embarrassed in an Olympic race. Yeah, the old Geoffrey got, remember the shame of a nation? He took a cab. He was in a marathon in the Olympics and he took a cab and he won. They found out he took a cab and they snatched the medal from him. So that was that. And now I'm gonna
assume this Geoffrey would not. He probably just would have had the competition taken out or something like.
No, this Geoffrey definitely wouldn't have been in no foot race for athletics.
No.
He would have been doing the race for another reason. Shout out to TK.
he was I forgot what they called themselves out in London. What they
Top boys.
he was top boy in them. Like man them was
He was boss man. He was boss man.
Man them was wilding
Mad
out
ting. Mad ting. Bad man ting.
Oh man. All right, we've been on here for like 2.5 hours. This is crazy. If people listen to it, shout out to them.
Because this is actually pretty good.
I might break it up, okay.
Yeah, break it up.
I might break it up.
This was good.
Yeah, this was good. This was a good conversation. Like I could probably go on for longer. I'm glad I didn't bring no extra people.
Dog, I'm glad you didn't wait till like 5 or 6. We really
four was too much. 4 was too much already. So I think Reese wants to be in the next one. He actually hasn't watched yet. He's been doing everything, but maybe after like 7 or something, we'll come back.
Yeah, because I'm like he back to my. He not only doing Outsiders, he doing Mind to Reese again. He got a girl, so yeah, he everywhere right now.
He busy.
Yeah.
So we'll come back. We'll do 7 in the finale.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
That'll work.
So definitely I'll go ahead and mark your schedule calendar down.
Once they come out every week, I'm pretty much gonna be on point.
I'm running crazy right now too because I got this final thing I need to do for my degree. So
oh man, you still need to hit me up on what we supposed to been doing last year.
What's that?
The indie movie reviews. Bibs on Film was supposed to have been back a long time ago.
No, well, that's what this podcast is.
Yeah,
that's what this. So, we'll talk about it.
We got. I want definitely get back on that because I told you, I love doing Shot versus Smiles. I got the wrestling pod now.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, I'm still trying to branch out more.
Trying to think. What was I gonna say? I got a bunch of screeners in my email now that I keep ignoring, or they're gonna stop sending them to me. So I was actually looking through that because I need to pick one to write about. But yeah, we'll definitely do. And I start hitting a few of those here. The end of March, I'll be done with school. Like,
all right, cool.
That's done. So that's probably where I'm gonna end up doing it because I'm already doing too much.
All right, that's a bit. But yeah, I was like, I always kept that in the back of my memory bank. I'm like, whenever he say he know me, I'm gonna watch it probably that night and just like binge it.
It came out Thursday night, right?
They come out on Thursday night.
Okay, yeah, so that's cool.
Because I got I get the notifications on my iPad.
I did. And I got it too. I was like, a new episode. Why did I think it was Sunday? That's why I was confused.
Because all of the first few came out on the weekend.
Okay. All right. Just making sure I wasn't tripping. You weren't
tripping. They literally dropped 3 episodes in the middle of the weekend. It was like, have at them.
And then it was like on Thursday, I got that notification. It was like a new episode. I was like, a new episode already? So yeah, we're good. It's been a marathon. It's been a good conversation. I enjoyed it. I think it's clear that we both like the show.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's coming together. I'm glad these people are winning. I'm glad we have a new show to talk about as a people, as a culture. And they're doing right by us, I think. As far as entertainment, as far as the conversation online that I'm seeing. So for only thing I saw was people complaining about Carlton initially, but I haven't seen anything else since.
Oh no, yeah, they've grown out of it because, like I said, episode 4. Because once you got to episode 4, and he's kind of mellowing out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I think he's starting to realize, yeah, you can have all the little cloud at school and stuff like that, but when you go home, your parents are in charge. And they're not going to kick him out because you don't want him there.
Exactly.
So I think that's kind of like that's finally hitting him like, I have no power over this man. There's nothing I can do with him.
I'm scared for where it's going for Carlton and what he might do. So that's gonna be fun to watch. It's gonna be interesting to see how Will reacts to this Geoffrey situation. But we, like I said, we 2.5 hours deep. Shad, I appreciate you coming on.
No problem.
We got a lot of things we'll probably do before the year is out. This was a lot of fun. Shad, I was about to call him Rashid. Reese will be on the next one. We'll probably do all 3 of us. I'm sure that'll be a fun conversation once we get there.
Me and Reese definitely gonna be cracking up, and I know every Fresh Prince reference I done brought up, definitely gonna remember and be laughing.
I'm sure that'll be another 2-hour episode. So
because it's because you like what is it? The first episode was 59 minutes, and the rest of them have been like 45 plus.
About 48 to 50, yeah.
So yeah,
it's a lot of TV. My thing is, as long as the review is shorter than the amount of the runtime, so we still somehow accomplish that.
Yeah.
But with that said, catch y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.